I'm a Raider, Oakland Raider. From the Bay to LA to Las Vegas.
Just
I'm
win,
a
baby.
player, a boss player. And if you with me, pop your collar, shake them haters. I'm a Raider, Oakland Raider. From the Bay to LA to Las Vegas. Cause I'm a player, boss player. And if you with me, pop your collar, shake them haters. I'm a Raider.
What is up, everybody? We are back with the Real Raiders podcast. I am your host / co-host, Mariano, Raider Mari Mars, whatever you want to call me. And I'm here with
Victor Freeze.
Now, you know we back at it again. We had to keep it rolling. We're getting this little remote situation thing a little more dialed in than we were last week. To kick off the news and notes of the week, I have a big announcement. Now, some of you guys are you probably follow the page, which I did post it to the story. But just so you guys know that this is the Real Raider podcast, I got to give y'all a nice little peek of what your boy did.
It's official, man. Ain't no going back. You can't switch teams, no nothing, man.
It is official, bro. There's no turning back.
The GOAT.
Regardless. So yeah, I got it blasted on me. I was there literally watching the game as I'm getting Raiders tatted on me. So yeah, man, I love it. My artist, shout out to Joseph Passion. That man did an amazing job, bro. I had Josh Jacobs basically posted. I had Charles Woodson posted. So I'm feeling the love, definitely, bro. Definitely.
So how long did it end up taking?
I got there at about 1:30 and I didn't leave until midnight. Yeah, bro. Yeah. And it was a total coincidence of the game being the same day as my appointment.
Yeah.
I didn't really realize that it was the same day. Probably till like a week out. I'm like, oh, the Raiders don't play on Sunday. I'm like, hold on. I got my tat appointment on Sunday. Long story short, it totally worked out because the tattoo artist was actually a Raider fan as well.
Oh, okay.
Dude, he had it up on the screen and it was like just fucking meant to be, right?
Yeah.
What would have been obviously ideal situation is if the Raiders won the game while I was getting tatted, getting a Raider tattoo, right?
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. So go ahead, Vic. Tell them what we got, man. What we got coming up?
So I'm going to kick off the news and notes. And we're going to start off. I think this is a big one, man. Nate Hobbs has some broken bones in his hand, bro. He tweeted it out and he put it on his story that he ain't backing down from no fight. Nothing like that, even with broken bones. So he's planning on playing with the broken bones. But as you can see in the last game, it really affected his play in the second half. He looked like a totally different cornerback in the second half, and I think that's why the defense was looking off too. I'm just trying to find out what the hand injury is with Nate Hobbs and see how we go forward with that right there.
Yeah, that's a tough one. He's definitely one of the best players on our team, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
whenever you have a big player seeing the club on his hand gave me flashbacks to Damon Arnett. And I never want to have those flashbacks ever in my life. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm having flashbacks, man. Next thing you know, somebody's going to be waving a gun in front of the camera. So I ain't trying to have all that.
Nate Hobbs has more sense than that, man.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Then the next thing, Mariano, you want to hit him with it?
Yeah, so Darren Waller had the hamstring injury. Now, Josh McDaniels did say that it didn't seem like it was anything that was serious, that it was just something that he would need to sit out of this game. So it's probably a good thing that our bye week is this week. That way we can get Darren Waller healthy and he ain't got to be on the hamstring that's a little tempered right now, you know?
Yeah, as players, we know how those soft tissue injuries work, man. They linger and they just suck, man. So, he was dealing with it in the preseason as well, right? He was questionable for week 1.
Yeah.
So hopefully it's nothing too serious that keeps him out multiple games, you know. You never know. Obviously, we can see with Julio Jones, it keeps him out like every other game, you know, the hamstring. So.
Yeah.
moving on. What do we have? Another thing that was on the freaking news and media everywhere. Mariano, what are we talking about?
Everybody is talking or has their take on the Davante Adams pushing the cameraman or whatever he was into the stands, basically.
Yeah.
Which, as soon as I seen it, it was instantly that's just a bad look, right? Like, look, man, we can't get away from it.
Yeah.
It's like you come to the Raiders, like he ain't never had nothing like that ever occur in his career.
Yeah,
right?
Never.
You come to the Raiders, and then something like that happens. So obviously he was heated. He had a hell of a game, by the way.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, and Derek Carr throwing that dime on the run, 1 foot, 50 yards down the field.
Bro.
If you could just do that like every game,
like Madden,
at least
crossers every play.
At least one time. Yeah, man. But ultimately, we'll see. What's your take on it, Vic? How do you feel about the whole situation?
I think anybody talking about suspension is out of pocket. He already has to deal with legal issues and everything, and he's already probably going to get fined from the league, right?
Yeah.
So I definitely do not think he should be suspended. But it's the Raiders, bro. Knowing the league, he'll get 1 game probably suspension.
Hey, I'll tell you what. If there's one game to be suspended for, it's probably the Houston game.
Yeah.
Which we got the bye week this weekend. We play Houston the following week, so I do think that it could go either way. I could see the NFL fining him, right? Fining him a large amount, $100,000, whatever it may be. Or I could see them suspending him 1 game, right? So the reason why I do see that is because we've never seen something like this happen, kind of, right? This is kind of like the first. In the NFL, I'm thinking they may set the tone and say, hey, look, this is unacceptable. This is not going to happen again. If it does happen, look, we're going to hit Davante with 1 game suspension, right?
Knowing since it's the Raiders, he's going to get a fine and a suspension probably. They'll probably be
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So it's either 1 game or none. In either case, I mean, I can see it going one of those 2 ways.
Davante's a good dude. Like, it was just right after a loss like that and bumping into Hunter Renfrow and all that, bro. Like, why are you going to get in his way? That tunnel's supposed to be clear for the players. And, like, clearly the security and everyone at the stadium wasn't doing stuff. They were harassing the players, calling racial slurs and stuff. And they were freaking throwing beers at them and stuff. I don't know if you've seen that video, bro, but like the Kansas City guys are doing the most, and like the security and the cops weren't doing nothing, though. So it's like they also have to take accountability for that too, Did
you see the side angle too, where he was just like beelining it?
Oh yeah, he was running. He like ran directly just to get in front of him.
Yeah. It was. He literally cut him off right away. I mean, look. As a football player, I understand because I played inside the lines. It's not as easy to just turn it on and turn it off, right? Yeah. Because you have to have a different mentality when you play football. Now, that's no excuse, right? That's no excuse because everybody has to deal with losing a tough one, or there's a winner and a loser almost every week, right? We never, ever tie this game. When we do, it's once a year. Yeah. We see one team that tied with another. The Texans, for instance, this year, right? So it's unacceptable, obviously, but I don't know. We'll just have to see. I like our path either way it goes. If he misses a game, we'll be fine. All right. If he just gets fined, then we get him for another game. So.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people are blowing out of proportion, because it's the Raiders.
Yeah, no doubt. What do we expect? Right? I mean, we're just used to these type of situations.
Exactly.
So.
All right. Let's move on to the recap of the Kansas City game. Let's start on the offensive side of the ball. Mariano, what are your takes on the offensive side of the ball?
Yeah, just like I said last week, they had to establish a run and get that madman Josh Jacobs going, which they did early and often. He had another career day. First Raiders running back to go over 140 yards. There's only two other running backs that have ever done it.
Bo Jackson.
And those two running
Marcus
backs,
Allen.
Bo Jackson and Marcus Allen, the two greats of our backfield.
Yeah.
So obviously they had the right formula to win and beat the Chiefs this past weekend. The fact that they went up 17-0, that was astonishing.
Yeah.
Right? When's the last time that we had seen that?
Yeah.
They played a great first half and in fact, a great second half as well. Right? So that was one of the most complete games that they played. It did not end in a win, though. Right? So somewhere down the line, which we'll get into, there were some crucial play calls that have been highly debated over the past couple days.
Yeah.
So what's your take on it, Vic?
Yeah, I mean, I saw a tweet. It was Tim Brown. He said, if we keep on playing the last 12 games with the same energy that we played this game, then we're in the playoffs, he said. So definitely got the right game plan on offense. Obviously, there ain't no committee here. Give Josh Jacobs the ball 30 times a game, and there's no question about it. You could spell him if he's like tired or anything, but from here on out, that's the game plan. 30 times.
Yeah.
You know? Obviously, there was some miscues on the last play on offense. And also, the last two plays, it reminded me we were like the Seahawks. Why didn't we run the ball on 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1, you know? 1 yard, Josh Jacobs has 150 yards on the game. Why are we trying to get big brain, get too creative here? Just play smash mouth football, get the 1 yard, you live for 4 more downs. You get what I'm saying? But I like the game plan overall. It was just came down to the coaching decisions towards the end. Obviously, the refs felt sorry for the Chiefs after they did that ref in the passer call because they called 0 penalties on the Chiefs after that. Max was clearly held multiple times during the game. Davante caught that ball, and I don't know how you hold on a freaking field goal, bro. I don't know how you hold on a field goal. But yeah, they had buyer's remorse after that. It was crazy, bro. It was a whole different game in the second half. And that's my take on the offensive side of the ball. I'll let you talk about the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, the defense played outstanding, man. We talked about it last week that we knew that Patrick Mahomes was going to make plays. Yeah. Right. The only tricky part is in the first half they did an excellent job covering Travis Kelce.
I mean, realistically, the whole game, he only had 25 yards. It's just in the red zone. When you're supposed to cover him the most is when we lost track of him. You know.
Yeah, that was going to be my second point. Is that once they got into the red zone, it was just Kelce every time. So a lot of it is just communication on the back end, right? In the misdirection that we talked about, the motions that they ran, they got the Raiders out of position in the red zone, and the communication wasn't there. Who's picking up who? Jonathan Abrams ready to cover the run, and Kelce goes running right by him, right? Now, obviously, this is easier said than done because we're couch coaches, man. You know what I mean? So, but ultimately, the defense came to play. They are not the reason why we lost this game because they got us the ball back.
Yeah.
They got stops. We held them. We end up getting the ball back, and then obviously we know what happens from there.
Yeah, I mean,
right.
I don't understand in the second half why we switched the defensive team because we were clamping them the first half, and then the second half I feel like Patrick Graham once again tried to get too big brain and try to do something different. It was working in the first half, but we gave him hella cushion. We're playing hella man, and I just didn't why it doesn't make sense. Why don't you keep your foot on the gas, clamp them, and don't let them score anything, right? I understand, like, you need time to go by, but it just didn't make sense. It felt like the defensive scheme was off in the second half. Obviously, Nate Hobbs was dealing with his hand, too, so that's a big factor in the second half. But they did give us a chance at the end of the game. You know, they did get the ball back. They did get the stop that we needed. So, I mean, I'll give the defense a B-plus grade. I think.
Yeah, I like that.
My bad. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I co-sign that. A B plus fair grade.
And I just think the second half just came down to coaching. I think a lot of this loss came down to coaching too. I put it on the coaches first. No, I'll put it on the refs first, then the coaching. Put it on the refs.
He said, no. I'll put it on the refs.
Yeah, no, for sure, bro. Because that was really, they like handed the game to Kansas City, bro. And it's all because they felt bad because of that one call they made. Literally it.
Yeah. What'd you think about the 2-point conversion? Good call, bad call?
Dude, you know, there's people saying that, like, once again, this is one of those mad geniuses things, right? Like, okay, if we score that, we put the pressure on them, have them to force drive down the field, but either way, like, I'd rather have a chance to go to overtime than just lose by a point, bro. Like, either way, they're going to try to go down the field, are they not? You know what I'm saying?
Well, no, because it changes their game plan, right? That's where I have to. My perspective is a little different. I love the call.
I get you're trying to take the momentum. You're trying to go up by one. You're trying to force them, pressure them to drive the ball down the field. But now you end up in a situation where you have no chance at overtime. I mean, we could have won the game, but like we flopped it basically, and we didn't have. We basically screwed ourselves over by going for 2.
Yes and no, because there's still 4 minutes to go, right? So there's 4 minutes to go on the clock. You go for 2. What happens is their mentality changes because they're playing with the lead now, right? So I think a lot of the reason why we got the ball back with 2 minutes to go is because Kansas City's offense got stale and stagnant. They didn't want to take shots downfield. What they did was they ran the ball repeatedly, and the Raiders just happened to get stops, right? Because what they were trying to do is take time off of the clock and clock first downs.
Yeah.
So I think that it's a double-edged sword, right? Either way that you go. Let's say hypothetically that we do score the 2-point conversion. We go up by 1 point. They get super aggressive. All that they would need is a field goal. But they're kind of banking on the chance that someone makes a mistake. Mahomes throws a pick, whatever it may be. On the contrary, if they don't, they're down by 1. KC's playing with the score, playing with the lead. And then, obviously, their offense is not looking to be as aggressive as they would if they were down by 1, or if we even kicked the field goal, right?
Do you think he purposely told Josh, like, put your knee down, like, don't get the 2 points, or what?
No, not by any means. But I'm just saying, there's still so much time left on the clock, right? Let's say that we tie it up, right? The whole playbook is open for the Chiefs. You want to take deep shots, mid shots, whatever, just to get into.
Yeah, we know the Chiefs have plenty of time. You know, even with the
we left the Chiefs with way too much time, right? Now, I do think that the Chiefs, they had a little bit of what the Raiders have gotten. They got like a little. Well, they won the game, right? So first things first is that they won. But they got a little complacent with that last offensive drive that they had. Yeah. Again, they weren't going to take a chance of throwing the ball, stopping the clock, and then you're done. They did on the third down.
Conservative crap we hate.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, ultimately, I like the call just because you have to be aggressive when you play the Chiefs, right? And it was kind of one of those blows where it's like, okay, now you got to beat us, right? So I don't think that it was the wrong call, and I do think that Josh McDaniels is getting better at managing the games as well. because
Still think he needs
go ahead.
that assistant like Nathaniel Hackett got. 'Cause-
I think he's way better than Nathaniel Hackett, bro.
I give him that, but
Yeah. He may already have
that's
that,
true.
you know? I mean, he may have
That's
that already.
potentially on the
But
table.
he did a phenomenal job of managing this game, man. Managing the game. And just, it could have went one of two ways, right? Remember when we beat New Orleans on that 2-point conversion? On that fade to Crab? It's like kind of telling your offense, hey, I fucking believe in you, right? Like, go ahead, go out there, run, execute the play. And they ran the ball. If we would have threw it, we would have been living, right? So it's obviously a tough one. It all ends in a loss for us, you know. But it didn't really. It impacted the game certainly, but regardless, that had nothing to do with that very last play between Davante Adams and Hunter Renfrow. You know.
Yeah, I was. I think I'm trying to figure out who ran the wrong route on that one.
Well, if you look at the tape, Davante Adams takes an inside release. He could have easily taken an outside. The bigger question is why. Okay, so usually there's levels to the passing tree or the route or to a play, right? Typically what you have is you have someone flare to the flat, and then you have the mid zone, and then obviously the deep over the top. From what I saw, it looked like Davante took an inside release, and then he's running a post, right? Hunter Renfro's taking an outside release, and he's running what looks like a flag route, 7 route. Why is there no one in the flat?
Yeah.
We need 1 yard, right? That was my biggest thing. I get why they didn't run the ball. There's 40 seconds left to go on the clock. So let's say you run the ball, you get the first down. You're going to take at least 20 seconds off of the game clock, and you're all the way back at the 40, our own 40, right? So then that would leave you with 20 seconds to move the ball, basically 20 yards, 30 yards. To get a decent kick, bro. It takes at least 8 seconds, right? So fucking 8 times 3 is 24. You would have basically 2 plays to get into field goal range for Carlson, and you don't have any fucking timeouts. So I get why they didn't run the ball. I just don't understand the route tree and the route combination that they chose for that particular play, if that makes sense. Right? We should have someone in the flat flaring out. I mean, the ideal situation, whenever you're in 2-minute offense at the end of the game, there's only 2 places in the field that you want to attack, really. If you have timeouts, you can attack the seam. If you don't have timeouts, you have to attack the sideline. And how do you do that? You run a 9 route on the outside. Hunter Renfrow should be running that 7 route right behind it. And then it's either that, or you have someone flaring to the flat. That way you get that 1 yard, right? No matter what, if it's not there, DC would have to take off.
Yeah.
So that's just my little take on that last play call. Now I know that Davante Adams was pissed off, but both of them are at fault. Both of them. I mean, you fucking ran into him, he ran into you. You know, there ain't no
I kind of just want to
difference.
blame Hunter Renfrow because he's on my shit list already. So
Come on, man. Don't do that, dog.
if I'm not mistaken, too, on the other side of the field, Matt Collins looked open. I gotta rewatch the film, but I think he had his man beat, bro. What the problem was is that fucking right tackle.
Right.
And coming into this bye week, I hope we address that, bro, because that's a serious issue. Give us no shot on the last freaking play of the game. Like, come on now.
Yeah. Look, man. The offensive line played fucking outstanding.
That's when it mattered the most.
They played.
That's literally when it mattered the most, bro. With the game on the line, and they folded.
Yeah. Well, they did. They blitzed, bro. You know.
Pressure came off the right side, right there.
Yeah, they should have went big personnel, just like they did on the first half. Davante Adams touchdown. They go big personnel with 40 seconds left on the clock, fake the run, bomb that shit to Davante 1-on-1 because they brought it all out blitz.
He scored a touchdown on the same route, right? Twice, right? It was the same route.
Yeah.
Same fucking route. He
would exactly.
Again, just fucking throw that shit up there, bro.
Right. Which it looks like that's what DC was headed for. I mean, again, I just don't understand why are we not ISOing Davante Adams, right? In that play, Davante should have been in motion, and then I didn't see no motions on. I'd have to look at it, right? But I didn't see, not that I remember, any motions on that last play. Or maybe it was Hunter going in motion.
No, I don't think there was any motion.
Regardless, bro, the last play of the fucking game, Davante and Hunter Renfrow should not be on the same side. If they are, somebody needs to be attacking the flat. Sure. On 4th and 1.
Definitely throw Hunter in the flat.
Hey, did you think that there was a flag though? Because the TV didn't show.
On the final play. It
on
looked
the final
like it
play,
was
remember, like when it was running live.
It looked like they were holding Davante's arm too.
Yeah.
I wanted the flag too, but you know.
I wanted a flag too, bro. Just throw that shit.
Fuck it. Doing them all fucking game,
Come on, man. But backing up a little bit, if Davante gets 2 feet down, we win that game.
Yeah,
you know that, right?
Catch. He just readjusted the ball. The ball didn't bobble. He just got him. Bro, that's like a one-handed catch when he brought it in. Bro. The ball didn't bobble, bro. That was a catch, bro.
Here's the deal. If the refs called that a completion on the field, it would have stayed a completion when they went to go review it. Because you can't really tell.
They initially called it a completion, didn't they?
No, they called it incomplete on the field. Oh, you know what?
And then reviewed it.
Yeah.
That thing, look, he caught it and brought it in, and it tilted, but he didn't bobble it. He put his other hand on it.
Right. Yeah, that was tough. But if that was like a secure catch, no doubt, like no question, you just solid catch. I remember in high school I used to want to like practice perfect catch, right? Where it hits your hands, you don't like bobble it for a second and catch it. If that's a solid catch, we win that game. Daniel Carlson's not missing, bro. He does not miss, you know?
Yeah.
And that was from our 40 to their 40. So we would have needed another 5 yards maybe. He probably could have kicked the shit from there if he needed to.
Yeah. I mean, this game is just more heartbreaking than the fucking Cardinals loss. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
Like,
I wasn't that heartbroken, man. I thought that I would be a lot more upset than I was.
On this game?
But yeah, on this game, and I think it's because the way that I prepped myself going into the game.
No chance.
I was just like, man, bro, they just blew out the Bucks, dude. Right? Hey, did you see what Stephon Diggs said about the Raiders? He said that he's like, you know, a lot of people don't expect this, but I know the record's 1-4 and everything. But that's a good fucking football team.
Bro.
He's like, I don't think people realize how good they are.
What I'm saying is a lot of it has been, I feel like, coaching. Like, we have a solid team, bro. Like, we have a elite offense, bro. Our defense is putting it together.
Yeah.
We have a top cornerback and a top edge rusher in the league, bro. Like, Our safeties are like crazy, bro. They're playing out of their minds too this season. You know,
Yeah.
like our team is good, bro. Like we are not
Oh
the
yeah,
Houston
no doubt.
Texans, bro. Like you feel me? Like it's just we've been playing good teams.
I
We've been
hear.
playing good teams too. That's the thing. And this is a new team,
Yeah.
and we got to learn how to win. I mean, not that we didn't learn how to win last season, obviously, but it's a new head coach, so he has to learn how to win with the team as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a big learning curve. I heard someone tell me, I can't remember who it was. He's like, I heard they're gonna get rid of Josh McDaniels. I looked at him and I'm like, bro, there's no way that they're gonna get rid of Josh McDaniels.
Yeah,
there's no way.
This isn't like the Panthers. This isn't like the Texans.
No, this is not even close, bro. Not even close. I mean,
my drunk ass after the game, I was like, fire fucking McDaniels. Get his ass out of here.
That was your instant reaction?
Up, bro. I was like, how did we lose? Fire McDaniels. Bro.
Right. I get it. The initial frustration was obviously like, what the fuck? That would have been the cherry on the top of me getting my tat that day.
Bro.
But there's a lot of season left. There's so much season to go. There's still 12 games to go.
That's what we're going to talk about on the next episode. Looking forward to the next 6 games and exactly how winnable they are. We're gonna go deep into that next episode. But as for this episode, I think it's a wrap, Mariana. I think we got everything covered. If not, we're just gonna be crying our hearts out about this game over and over.
Bro, you know how much people was clowning me? Cause like I'm posting tattoos, right? And they're like, I got a phone call. This man talking about, hey bro, tell him to erase the tattoo. I'm like, fuck you, dog. I was like, look, it's on me regardless now. Alright.
Hey, even if it was a win or a loss, bro, it's going on either way. You know what I did? I bought 2 Raiders hats right after the loss. I was like, these are clean.
It is what it is. Honestly, I'm still proud of them, though. I'm still proud of the Raiders and the way that they came out and played, bro. I mean, that was just.
What is it after? What week is it? It's probably December. I just hope we're playing meaningful games in December. That's what I want. And we have a chance. We'll talk about it more in the next episode because we're gonna make this episode another hour or something. And we're at 30 minutes right now, so we should just keep it that way.
Yeah, short and sweet, baby.
Right. You got any last notes for them, Mariana?
Go Raiders.
Let's go. All right, this is the Real Raiders podcast. We're out of here.